Pulls up for quick two. Well, that's usually his bread and butter, but he is struggling early on. And Tobin intercepts. Sloppy passing here from the Brex. Double change coming in. Zico Coronel now bringing in both Shinji Takashima and Finn Delaney. Well, Shinji Takashima had some big three-pointers last night against Tabiet because he had a crucial one in the first play of overtime. Brex ball baseline. Well, they find Newbill. Cross court to Delaney, straight off the bench, another three, and again, sinks this one. Second three of the game for Utsunomiya. The foul is going to be called against Shinji Takashima. Well, that is the benefit. And, you know, if you think about the players they already had at this position, Gavin Edwards and Grant Jarrett, both three-point shooting bigs. Bottiswell wants to play quick. Finds Azbayad. Hesitates, now goes for a three. Three's not dropping for the Broncos. Brex want to run. Hijime hesitates, finds Takashima. Delaney made his last three, now another one, and Finn Delaney has come out like a house on fire. Well, Brecky, I know you're watching back in Tojiki, and I'm sure you're very happy at the moment. Well, a foul is going to be called against DJ Newbill. Let's have a look at the replay here. Well, it was called away from the ball. As now Murakishi coming into the lineup. Seiji Ikaruga also subbing into the game. So both Hijima and Kosuke Takeuchi going to the bench for the Brex. Quick play, nice reverse layup, finishing under intense pressure. Ikaruga almost caught in a double team. Murakishi pump fakes. Finds Delaney, another pump fake, another finish. 8 points already for Finn Delaney. Well, the big man playing with confidence. Well, a traveling violation. Well, Brex getting it back. Another three goes flying, and now DJ Newbill. Well, Brecky, if you are watching back in Tojiki, the Brex have a 10-point lead. Well, a timeout has been called, and indeed, Brex lead by 10. 4 3-point field goals already been made by the Brex. They are on fire. We'll hear what Coach Ari Umbold has to say. Welcome back, everybody, live here at the Coca-Cola Arena. And a foul is going to be called against Seiji Ikaruga. Sideline possession going back to Sac Broncos. Third team foul against the Brex. Well, they need Ian Mills to get going. Trying to get a post entry to Jordan Tolbert. Batchman goes baseline. And a foul is going to be called against Murakishi.
Foul on number 14. His first person. Fourth for Brex.
Well, another turnover. Brex want to run. Brex right now in total control. Ikaruga for a three. And everything flying in. Well, Yamate. They didn't seem to stop it the other night. And now they continue. That's going to be a turnover. Brex going to get it back. Utsunomiya in total control of this game at the moment. Well, they almost turn it over. Newbill finds Ikaruga, pump fakes. Looking for a kick out. But now Shinji Takashima for three. Rebounds business secured by Chimanga. Remember, Takashima's got one foul. That's going to be a tough matchup against Batismo. Trying to keep him in front. Good hands by Newbill. Comes up with a steal now. Makes it a 15-point lead. The Brex flying with confidence. Well, Tommy Batchavin doing a good job of breaking down the pressure. Now Tolbert looking for an ISO. Tries to bully his way. That's much better. Mongolia's #1 team needs to play more aggressive. Takashima, quick three, corner, make it, number 6, Sugoi. And it looks like the Broncos are going to turn it over yet again. Well, the intensity of the Japanese B-League champions proving to be too much. Truly incredible here tonight. Watsuyo Ogawa now in the lineup here for the Brex, leading by 16. Just like they did in game 2, or game 1, against Chiba Jets in the semifinals. Delaney pump fakes, finds Hiyajima, three, number 7. Oh! Majide Hontoni Sugoi! Raining threes from the B-League champions. And that time, it came from the 2018 B-League MVP, Makoto Hiyajima. Can Broncos respond? Still can't get it. But the Brex do something that is so rare. Well, it's not often you see a turnover from the Brex. Well, a foul has been called, and this is good for the Broncos, because now they can get to the free throw line. Well, the foul is on Makoto Hiyajima. That's going to be his first personal foul. Because they need to get Jordy Chimanga some more looks in the game. It's now Ikbayada at the free throw line. These are the first free throws here for the Broncos. Makes the first one. Well, they got to prevent this from being a 20-point deficit before the second quarter. Second one good by Ikbayad. Almost turning it over again. The lady comes up with it. Finds Hiyajima. Brex Brex have been outstanding for the three-point line. 7 out of 11 as Ogawa in around the defense. What a move by 22-year-old Atsuya Ogawa. Well, when Yuki Togashi, Yuki Kawamura are at the end of their career, I wouldn't be surprised to be Atsuya Ogawa and players like Reiku Sagawa as well at the #1 spot. Miller, 3. Can't get it. Delaney comes up with it. And now Brex can take a 20-plus point lead. Delaney down the middle. Delaney fakes a pass, and he is bowling. Finn Delaney. What a pickup he's been by Zico Coronel. He's got 10 points. Bindaria, that's much better. Finding Ikbayar wide open. Nice dime coming from Bindaria. That cuts it back down to 19. Gawa finds Delaney. Watanabe goes for 3. Goes out of bounds. Fotu battled for it, but Chimanga just did enough to keep him away from the offensive rebound. 19-point lead currently to the B-League champions. Great take. Trying to find Chimanga. Brex again come up with it. Brex want to run. Ogawa. Delaney's made 2 threes. Can't get a third one. Brex now 7 out of 13 for the perimeter. And a foul is going to be called against Ulaanbaatar. Iijima running the pick and pop. Trying to go for the no-look pass. Probably should have gone to Watanabe. Well, Watanabe was wide open in the corner. So with 30.6 seconds left, Broncos will try to get another good offense. Ulaanbaatar. Remember, Iijima's got 2 fouls. Miller. See any player away from the ball getting ready for a double team on Ian Miller. Chimanga back to Ian Miller. Hesitates. Pump fakes. Tough 3. Can't get it. Iijima comes up with it. Now Watanabe finds Fotu. Bit of contact. Finishes and gives Brex a 21-point lead at the end of the first quarter. Well, the B-League champions right now are simply unstoppable. Tough finish by Isaac Fotu. The assist coming from Hinori Watanabe. Well, the Brex impressively 7 out of 13 from the perimeter. Because they do have 6 offensive rebounds, 13 in total, and collectively 11 assists as a team. Well, the problem right now for the Broncos, 0 out of 7 from the three-point line, but Broncos have got to get more in transition. Well, we're going to leave you with the stats and the best highlights from the first quarter here in the first semifinal of BCL Asia. Welcome back, everybody, live here at the Coca-Cola Arena for the first semifinal of the 2025 BCL Asia. Currently a 21-point lead to the B-League champions, Utsunomiya Brex. It's another Broncos turnover. Brex want to run. Well, Delaney goes in, gets fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Well, the foul is on Bindaria. That's tough. Almost feels like you got old ball in that one. But it is going to be 2 free throws coming up for Finn Delaney. Well, he's been a monumental signing for this team since joining. First free throw good. Well, he did actually foul out last night in that victory in double overtime, but key thing for him is, I mean, he's such an offensive threat, averaging 15.3 points per game along with 5 rebounds. Of course, he's only missed 2 free throws here in BCL Asia East. He's currently 12 out of 14. 23-point lead to the B-League champions. Endo almost came up with it. And right now, the Brex defensively are just so hungry. They really want to run at the moment. There's Bindaria. Goes in, and that's much better. That's what the Broncos need. Cutting it down at 21. Ogawa finds Delaney. Endo pulls up for 3. It's up, no good. But Hiajima gets the offensive rebound. No need to rush anything. Hiajima baseline goes in, draws a foul, and that's on Batisball. That's going to be a second personal. So Makoto Hiajima will go to the free throw line.
Foul on number 3. Second for Broncos. Substitution.
Well, Makoto Hiajima went to Ayama University, started his first professional contract was with the Mikawa Seahorses. That was when they were known as the Aishin Seahorses. His rookie season averaged 11 points. Remember, 2018, he was the B-League's most valuable player. He joined Utsunomiya Brex in 2018, 2-time B-League champion with the Brex in 2022, where he was the B-League Finals MVP, and also won it most recently. Ulaanbaatar, heavily defended. Good defense by Atsuo Ogawa. Now, can Ian Miller get going? Miller down the middle, finds Bindaria. And that's much better. And it all starts with Ian Miller. Miller making the penetration, finding Bindaria.
Number 6. The second personal. First for Brex. Substitution.
Well, substitution coming into the game. Because Bindaria has been a solid player for this team in BCL Asia East. And you know what I like about his game, he's a utility role player. Very much a powerful small forward. Because now you can see the defense very focused on players like Ian Miller and Jordan Tolbert and Chimanga. So players like Bindaria, they need to come in and step up in this game. Second free throw, no good. 22-point lead to the Brex. Dubill waiting for a bull streak. Takeuchi also back in the lineup. Fotu getting a hand down. Endo, pump fakes. Takeuchi's got to shoot this over Chimanga, and he makes that one. Well, Jody Chimanga did everything he could, but nice shot by the 40-year young player, Kosuke Takeuchi. Batisball penetrates. And a tough finish. And we saw him do this in BCL Asia East. But one thing that he's great at, avoiding getting blocked when attacking the bucket. Fotu finds Endo. Another 3. Can't get it. Great job by Chimanga. And here comes Bindaria. Bindaria goes in, and he misses. Well, Dubill kept his hands up, didn't contest it. Ogawa splits the defense. Fotu's got a mismatch. Well, Fotu's going to get called for an offensive foul. And that's a good call because Fotu's elbow wrapped around the shoulder against Bindaria. Watch here. Right there. Good call. That's a first foul against Isaac Fotu. And Broncos are going to call timeout. 7:41. Brex lead by 22. Welcome back, everybody. Live here at the Coca-Cola Arena for the first semifinal between the B-League champions, Utsunomiya Brex, and the BCL Asia East champions, the SAC Broncos of Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. Ball being defended by Yusuke Endo. The foul is going to be called. I think they could have called the one earlier, but it's going to be a sideline ball coming up here too. SAC Broncos. Well, Broncos have got to build some identity here in their offense. Now trying to find Chimanga. It's a good matchup for him. Settle at dead. Deep three goes up. Sinks it. And cutting it down to a 19-point ball game. Well, the high arc on his three-point is almost like a negative parabola. It's so high. Ogawa finds Fotu, kicks out. Endo, three number 8, can't get it. Takashima unable to get the rebound. And here comes Miller, right at the defense. Chimanga in the paint, goes in, finishes. And it's a 5-0 run currently here for the BCL Asia East champions, cutting it down to 17. Oh, Batispol, but he's unable to come up with it. And now you appreciate the hunger and defense coming from the Broncos.
Seventeen to shoot.
Here on the shot clock. Takuchi finds Ikaruga. They're in the corner. Takuchi offensive rebound. Almost throws it away, but Nugo comes up with it. Nugo crosses over. Finds Delaney. Made 2 threes. Makes a third one. And that's 8 3-point field goals for the Brex. 3 of them have come from Finn Delaney. Miller kicks out, but it's an unforced turnover. As Bayar wasn't ready for it. Well, tough one indeed. Brex not taking their foot off the pedal, knowing they have the momentum. Now Delaney looking for a penetration. Pump fakes, steps through, gets rejected by Asbayad. But can the Broncos run? But they turn it right back over. And that's going to be a baseline possession coming up to the Broncos. Well, there's some confusion here. I'm wondering what the officials are going to decided because our referees have said because it hit the back of the backboard. Let's find out what they say. So it's going to remain baseline ball to the Broncos, but only 14 on the shot clock. Well, here's another look at it. DJ Newbill trying to keep it in bound. Well, may have just stepped out of bounds there anyway. Delaney defending Chimanga. Chimanga inside the paint. Good defense. Tough shot there by Jordy. But that's where Broncos have got to take advantage. Ikaruga kicks out. Newbill. Delaney pump fakes. Trying to be physical here. Spins baseline, avoids the block. But good defense. Here's where Broncos have got to capitalize. Asbayad baseline. Pump fakes. Well, Delaney's discipline on defense made that a tough one as now Takashima goes. Finds Delaney. Well, he had an open three. It's now under 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Takashima goes for three. That's a little too short. Bonnisville can't make these threes, and that's what he's got to do best. Cutting it down back to 17. 9 points for him. That's his first three of the night. Nice play by Delaney. Ikaruga wide open. Three in the corner. Well, Delaney probably should have gone up with that one. Now, Broncos want to run. Bonnisville made his last three. Another one. Cutting it down to 14. Big time three. 12 points now for the Mongolian hero. Well, it's a good run from the Broncos. Well, they leave DJ Newbill wide open. They pay the price. Well, Chimanga felt that Sarula Den was going to pick him up. But you don't leave the B-League MVP, DJ Newbill, wide open. 17 points per game this season in the B-League. As Miller, unable to get the and-one. That's going to be a first foul against Finn Delaney. It's now Makoto Hiyajima, Murakishi checking back in the game. So interestingly here, slightly small lineup for the Brex. Chimanga's also going to leave. So Finn Delaney is going to have to match up with that man, Jordan Tolbert. William Miller makes the first free throw. Florida State University. Played for some of the biggest clubs within European basketball. Started his pro career in Italy. He also played in Kazakhstan at BCL Astana. Spent quite a bit of time playing both in France and Greece. Second free throw good. .5 lead. Newbill finds Murakishi. Back to DJ. Well, they got to shoot this one. Three off the bench. Good look. Delaney battles. Takashima comes up with it, but he throws it away. And here's where the Broncos have got to run. Sato Den. Bindaria pump fakes. And now they cut it down to 13. They've trailed by as many as 23. Can they find a way back in this? Under 3 minutes. Now Hiyajima, no foul called. Well, another foul called in transition. Well, Hiyajima felt that he got fouled. Well, Zico Coronel's going to call timeout because the Broncos are now finding that confidence in their play. We'll go down to Zico Coronel's bench to find out what he has to say. 13-point ball game currently.
Hey, let's move on, let's go, let's play. We go. 3番と5番シューターやからね、3番と5番。Making these dumbass turnovers. Be aggressive. They terrible. ターンオーバー別にすること迷ってターンオーバーするよりシュート打つと。フォーカスしてないか今ターンオーバーするよ。ゲーム全然相手できんからね。さっきの身長ターンオーバーも別に DJ 空いてんのにスキップバッテンでいいから。しっかりロックインしてフォーカスして。
Always talking about the rotation. Yeah. Last guy is fast, come to the goal, pass. Hey, talk on defense. Hey, talk on defense. Talk on defense. Defense on 3, 1, 2, 3. Defense.
If you got a deep edge, they got a extra.
Welcome back, everybody, live here at the in the city of Gold, Dubai, at the Coca-Cola Arena. Currently a 13-point deficit with Bataspol, Mongolian national team, at the free throw line here for the Broncos. First one good. He now has 13 points, leading the scoring currently. This was interesting. Only 2 points tonight from their leading scorer, Ian Miller. Second one good. 11-point deficit. Huge turnaround here in the second quarter. Newbill. And again, no foul called. Well, they want to run. Miller goes at the defense. Can't finish. Brex come up with it. Now they find Newbill. Newbill goes in. Eurostep. And this time he finishes. Standing it back to a 13-point lead. That's how quick Brex can convert any missed shot, any turnover into fast break points. Miller now penetrates. Kicks out. Bataspol, baseline. The foul has been called on the ground. Zico Coronel still asking the question why he felt DJ Newbill, not on the last play, but the one prior, wasn't going to the free throw line. Bataspol at the charity stripe. I tell you what, it's been a great game for him so far. 15 points already here in the first half, and it gives you the nostalgia, the reminiscent feelings in that opening game in which they defeated the new Taipei Kings in Chinese Taipei in BCL Asia East. Newbill made his last three. Makes this one. B-League MVP DJ Newbill. Again lighting it up tonight. 16 for DJ. And it's gonna be a Broncos turnover. We've seen his team lead by a lot. Now I think Coach Ulaanbaatar will go for a head coach's challenge. So I think the players will have to go to the bench. So the referees will have to go to the monitor to reviews to see if a change needs to take place. 1:47 to go here in the second quarter. So Haja Jalajari, along with Yevgeny Mikheyev, will go to the monitor, find out if a change needs to happen. Very tough. Because clearly Hijima reaches. But does Ian Miller get the final touch? That is the question. Well, this is a very hard one indeed. This is what we call in Japanese, Korewa Totemo Musakashi. If you want to know my answer, well, wakarimasen, I don't know. There again, there's the defense. I don't think you're going to get more defensive look than the previous one, but that is tough to say the least. We're going to have to find out very soon. Well, this is going to be a tough one. The officials still trying to figure out what decision needs to be made. Again, we are live here at the Coca-Cola Arena for the 2025 BCL Asia first semifinal. Second one will take place later on this evening, a rematch of last season's final between Shabab Al Ahly and Al Riyadi. I don't think you're going to get a more definitive view than the very first one. So very tough to decide what our officials will go with here. I think a decision has been made. We're going to find out. Yevgeny Mikheyev and Hadija Jalatri, successful or not? Well, successful head coach's challenge. So Broncos will get it back at 147. So the target here for the Broncos. Try to cut it down to single digits going into the second half. Make the mountain less high to climb. Bindaria. Now want to go to Ian Miller. Miller off one screen. Kicks out. So Depp pump fakes. Goes for high flying three. Delaney Towers for the rebound. Newbill wants to run. Newbill hangs in the air. Again, no foul called. Well, good defense by Bindaria. As now we're just over a minute to go. Miller got it by Ogawa. Pulls up, long two, and still struggling. Broncos do have some fouls to give, but Ogawa hesitates. Fine, Takeuchi goes in, and finally, Kosuke getting a good look in the paints. Nice dime by Ogawa, the 22-year-old to the 40-year young veteran. Tolman ball on the ground, bumps, goes in, good defense. Well, Brex go quickly, go 2 for 1. Miyajima three. And he went for the quick three to go for that 2 for 1. Here comes Tolman. Good defense, but even better offense by JT. Well, that cuts it back down to 14. Brex can go for the final shot. Well, they want to go to DJ Newbill. DJ penetrates, step back three. Ogawa, offensive rebound, can't get it, and that will do the end of the first half. Well, it's been a spirited fight so far from the Broncos. They trail by as many as 23. Now they find themselves still down by 14, but we will go into the halftime break with the B-League champions in control of this one so far. Well, the Brex currently at the moment